Hello the internet and welcome back to my channel. Tonight I'm doing something I don't usually, well, I've never done it on the internet or on my channel. It's an unboxing. The reason I'm doing an unboxing is I purchased a preheating plate model T-8280, which is, it's a Chinese preheating plate. I'm not entirely sure it's infrared, to be honest. But the thing is, I've checked online and I've found a few reviews. I haven't found much, so I've just received this today. I just wanted to share the first impression, maybe first testing with you, and see what's inside the package. There are many similar models of this machine on the internet. Sometimes they come with different funny names, to be honest. I purchased these on eBay. I placed an order on AliExpress for a similar one from a company called, or a brand called Vevor, I think. It didn't work well. They contacted me saying, "Oh, we can't ship. Please cancel the order and we'll send you a refund," which I refused to do because it sounds dodgy, to be honest. So I'm waiting for I don't know, what is it, like a month time where I can open a claim with AliExpress. Otherwise, I'll ask my credit card or PayPal to give me money back. I ended up buying this on eBay rather than on Amazon. Amazon, it wasn't sold by Amazon, which means basically it comes with no support. So I decided to go with eBay. It was cheaper. It was still, I think I purchased with PayPal, so if it doesn't arrive, you're still covered. Obviously, if it doesn't work, I guess I haven't got much support. You can threaten a negative feedback. But anyways, the long story short is I can see a Puhui name in here, and I think this is quite a common one that I see reviewed online. Again, there are not many reviews, but I saw this brand on many occasions, and I don't think that when I purchased on eBay, it was sold as a Puhui. So whatever. Again, I guess the copy of the copy of the copy of the copy. So as long as it works, to be honest, I'm not too much concerned. So here's the content of the box. We have, surprisingly, UK main sleeve. I think I've read some reviews where they say that there's no UK lid with it, and there's also an adapter, which is going to be useful when I'm traveling to Europe, but I don't think it's necessary here. I guess maybe this box is still sent to Europe as well. Anyways, I got a free adapter. Oops. I've got some documentation here, which I don't know. This strip here, is it for protecting boards when preheating them or doing SMD resoldering? There's a little user manual. Oh, there's also a, wow, that's impressive. I guess this is kind of a, oh, there's a serial number on it. I mean, this is a proper machine. It comes with a serial number. There's a date of manufacturing. Is this May 2021? Wow. There's actually the name of the company manufacturing it. Oh, it feels good. I was totally not expecting this. I can see this says European plug. That's probably why it comes with a, well, no, it comes with an adapter, which is where it's multi-socket for export only. Anyways, I don't need any of this. Again, user manual, which we'll take a look, and the machine itself, which is nicely packaged. This came actually from the UK, so the auction said location UK, and it definitely arrived from the UK. Number one, it only took a few days. Number two, I think the parcel says Portsmouth as a location, source location, a shipping location. So yes, it's as I suspect, it's a Puhui machine, tech168.cn. I've seen a few of these online. I guess it's just a random manufacturer. It's just I could see a few. Let's call them copycats. I don't even know. I mean, exactly the same machine with different funny names. I can't remember the one on Amazon where it had a hot popular, I think it was called. It's like, well, that doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't. It doesn't make me confident on ordering such a funny named machine. Anyways, how do I remove this? Okay, so these are the stands for the boards, which are apparently only attached on one end, which is probably perfectly fine. I mean, it's a cheap machine. I totally appreciate it. It's not going to be a super professional one, but as long as it works and it does what it says it do, what it says it should do, I'm okay with it. So as you can see, the machine is very, very easy. It comes with these two plates. This one seems slightly bent, but from the factory, to be honest, I have a feeling it's going to be fine. I don't see, again, it says infrared. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, obviously, when you heat something, that there's some kind of infrared energy coming out of anything, but I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about that. Anyways, you got two plates. I think the machine is rated 1600 watts, so I think each one of these is 800 watts plate. The machine is very basic. There's a PID inside, or PID. You set the temperature, and there's a thermocouple here, which is kind of surprisingly pointing down towards the plate. Let me see if I can show you. You can see there's a little thermocouple is almost touching the plates. I'm not sure that's the temperature I'm interested in, to be honest. I guess I would like, to know the temperature of the board. So again, that maybe that's gonna be probably part of my tweaking while testing this thing. But again, that's how it comes from the factory. And that's it. I mean, these are support stands for a board. So do I have a board handy? I mean, clearly I'm not going to reflow this motherboard, but just to show how it works, it's basically something like this, which is, okay, I think it works fairly well. Again, I appreciate it's a cheap piece of equipment, but yeah, it works. That's it. That's all I need to know, to be honest. It works. It holds the board in place pretty nice. And that's it. I'm not entirely sure what this is for. Yeah, it actually has pretty sharp edges, so I may need to use some sandpaper or something to make it a bit less dangerous. It goes across these two rails here, support rails, like this. I'm not entirely sure what this is for. Is it just for supporting a larger board, but then you don't get the heat coming through? Maybe something useless, to be honest. Well, anyways, this is it. There's nothing else. Front panel is very easy, on off. There's general on off power, then where you basically set the temperature and whether you want the actual heating element switched on and off, so you don't need to switch the whole machine off when you want the heating element to stop, because at that point you stop seeing the temperature. So it's again fairly basic, to be honest. There's a mains inlet here. It says 220. I did check with the vendor that it was a 220 machine and not a 110, and nothing else. oops, obviously yes, these little guides are only attached on one end. There's a fan here, which I seen on some videos is fairly noisy, and it spins up and down all the time. It's very annoying. And at the back you can see specifications of the machine, which is 220 volts, 1600 watts. It does come with a serial number. I mean, I'm honestly impressed. I mean, the fact that this comes with a serial number means there's some kind of production control. It's not just a random piece of technology, it's just the stick that, patched together and sold it on eBay. I think coming from eBay, the first thing I want to do, I want to make sure that this machine is earthed very, very quickly. So here's my multimeter. Multimeter is set to continuity, so let's connect this to ground. Oops. And the machine is not earthed. Fantastic. Oh wow, this is really bad. This is literally shocking. Oh my god. Seriously? Yeah. Okay, well it says do not disassemble, but I'm not gonna run an unearthed machine, which also, by the way, runs at 1600 watts in my workshop. So I'll see what's inside. I can see they actually installed a sticker on a screw to stop people from removing the screw. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can peel it off without damaging it. Let me. I'll just. I can't do this on camera, but let me just warm up the glue a moment. There we go. So that's removed without breaking it. I hope it's only one. Let's go on and open it up. There's a CE logo, which is impossible. The machine is not earthed. Yeah, so it's earthed, but it's on the paint, so it's just a matter of scratching the paint a bit. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's good because it's an easy fix. I thought of that. Oh, that's okay. So let me show you what the problem is. Thankfully, it's very easy to fix, and so as you can see, the earth cable is attached to a painted surface, and let's see the screw on the other side. Oh, the screw on the other side is obviously attached to plastic, so there's no way that the earth can actually make contact with the chassis. Another thing is this chassis is then attached to the other one by the screws. Everything is painted, so I guess I'll have to do some extra modifications to make sure that at least one of the screw is going to be interesting. In theory, this earth cable should be connected to every single one of these chassis separately. You can't just rely on this earth cable connecting to this part and then this part connecting to another one and this other one connecting to the other one, because if you lose connectivity between two parts, which again they are painted, then you lose the earth the grounding, and it could be very, very dangerous. As you can see, the inside is fairly easy, but it's not bad. There's a small transformer. It's 9-volt AC output. Everything goes to this little board. The little board, I guess that's a PID. It's got LM2575. That should be a voltage, 3.3 voltage regulator, maybe. And there's the beeper and a couple of ICs and a main IC, which, my gosh, has has been soldered, and they just left the how's it called, the flux all around it. I can give it a clean. Well, and then you have a solid state relay, SSR25DA. Well, let's see if I can make this work. So as you can see, it's completely painted, so where the earth terminal is touching, it's only touching paint. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the paint from the point, and maybe I'll put a how's it called, a star washer, something that, you know, really pushes into the metal frame, and then I'll move from there, and I'll have to make sure that this part of the chassis is also connected to the rest of the chassis. Here we go. So I found a star washer, and let's see if that's enough. So that goes star washer first, earth connector, terminal, and then we have this nut. Okay, I can tighten it up to some point because it's plastic on the other side. Well, that should be enough. So let's try the continuity test again. Let's see if it works with this chassis. So I'm going from the earth terminal to the screw here. Well, this screw is, well, it works. Okay, it's fine. So, yeah. Is definitely working here. Now the problem is that if I put this chassis back the way it is, I have a feeling it's not going to change anything, because yeah, the point is everything is painted, and there's really no, ideally I want to have another earth cable that goes from this chassis to the bottom one, and before even thinking of doing that, let me see whether the bottom chassis from a screw here, it has continuity with the plates. Yes, okay, so I definitely need just to connect the two chassis. The problem is, again, I think all this screw, I don't know, I don't wanna sand anything here outside externally. Because if by any means, you know, if any chance I need to return this thing, they will probably not notice this, but they will definitely notice something has been sanded or scratched on the outside. So I think that my best bet is probably to install an extra lead somewhere, and it could be between here. I can make it, I can remove it, you know, if it's really needed. And it's probably the best thing between here, the original earth where the earth is coming, or I can solder another one, to be honest, it's even better, to one of these stands, which looks like it's connected to a bit of everything. So I got this stand, not the power supply. It's not really, I would need something like that. I would say let's do something kind of temporary, and then after a month or two, when again I'm basically on my own in terms of warranty, I can probably tweak it a bit more. Here we go. It's definitely taking a bit more time than I thought. I wasn't expecting to have to mod the machine on day one before even trying it. But honestly, again, I don't want to, earth is important. So let's see if these actually work. Again, I'm seeing continuity mode. I'm on earth here. And yeah, now, yeah, this is not entirely, again, everything is sitting on paint, so it's a bit, this is okay, this is not okay, this is more or less okay. I guess, again, let me test it first. At least I know, again, the basic stuff, like these parts are actually earthed. What I'm going to do at some point in a few months' time, I'll open it up completely, and every single part where a screw is attached, I will just remove the paint, and yeah, also remove the paint. I'll remove the paint, and make sure there is a better earth continuity be around the whole machine. But for now, I think it's fine. And again, this is something I can remove in case the machine fails tonight or tomorrow. So if they ask me to return it, I can still remove my modifications, and probably nobody will notice it. Okay, at this point, let's plug it up. Let's cross our fingers, I guess. Oh, there is a replacement fuse in the bag, which I didn't notice. Okay, so it's plugged in. Still no mains connected. Mains connected now. Okay, and on. Okay. I can see on the, I'm filming with an iPhone, the display is actually not having this effect, assuming this is what I'm going to see in final editing. The current LED now is solid, lit solid, but it looks like it's flashing. The LED looks like it's doing these weird things. It's just because everything is has a refresh rate, which is slightly different than it's probably 50 hertz, the mains refresh rate, the mains frequency. So again, you see this thing, but that's not what happens in real life. So the thing is now says 18 volts, 19 volts. If I understand correctly, this is how you set the temperature. So I can set it to, I don't know, 150 degrees, and then the set flashing means it's got the temperature. These are completely cold, and if I switch on the plates, that's it. I guess, let me switch off my heat pump, otherwise I guess my breaker will trip. I can see, well, overall this room is now draining 1900 watts. And these are indeed getting warm. Maybe one more, no, it's okay. They're both getting warm. So yeah, it seems to be working. So far so good. I will maybe check with the thermal camera the uniformity of those things, but yeah, it feels... So far so good. Again, the current LED, you can't see that on the video, but it's actually solid green, which means the plated are powered at maximum power until they reach 150 degrees. And I'm assuming the closer that we get to 150 degrees, and the current LED will start flashing, meaning that the PID is trying to modulate the current to the plates, or the power to the plates, and to maintain the temperature. And now you can probably hear from the very annoying fan. I don't know, whoever designed the circuit needs to do something else. But anyways, the PID is now modulating the power to the heating elements to maintain 150 degrees. And actually, that seems to be the case. It overshoot a bit to 152, but I guess it's not really a big deal. It's definitely doing a decent job. I've been considering the price of the machine and where it's coming from. I would say I can't complain about that. I can see the temperature went down a bit. So yeah, it's not probably the most precise PID, but again, it's a preheating plate. It's no big deal. I have an external X-Tech thermometer plugged in with a thermocouple here, and let's see what it says when we check the temperature. Let's see if the temperature read by the integrated thermocouple is correct or accurate. Not really. Well, I have to say that the thermocouple, the factory thermocouple, I don't think is touching the plates. So that was probably... actually it is. Well, yeah, I guess it's accurate enough. Again, it doesn't have to be... Well, it's not completely off. That's what I'm looking for. It's a soldering machine, you know. It's totally fine. Actually, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so I know that the temperature is fine. Well, I guess at this point, my problem is I have a few projects, which is the reason... SMD projects, BGA projects, which is the reason why I purchased this machine in the first place. But right now, I'd like to do some tests first, and I really haven't got anything to test. I searched online to see, you know, if I could find a box of old boards for little to nothing, but I couldn't find anything. So all I can use now is probably like a board from an old hard drive, maybe, you know, like one of those very small hard drive, which I don't care about. Failing that, I'm not really sure. I don't really want to start. I have a PS4 I want to try and reflow. I have a Radeon video card, which I would like to reflow. And I have an Onkyo HDMI input board, which I reflowed in the past, actually rebolt, but it stopped working again. So I'd like to do that properly, but I don't want to start my tests with any of those boards. All I know is this board is working, and which is good. Maybe I'll keep it running for a while. So if it fails, it'd be nice that I failed straight away, so I can return it or get another one or whatever. And then I guess I'll like to do some quick tests, and then I'll see where to start from. But for now, so far so good. And again, I like this little switch here. So when you've done with your reflowing or soldering or whatever, you don't need to switch off the whole machine, so you lose the temperature control. But you just switch off the plates, and at that point the temperature will slowly go down. That's kind of a downside of this machine. Again, it says infrared, but I don't really see much of infrared in here. So unfortunately the temperature will take a while to climb down, and that's not really what you want when you are reflowing or soldering something. As you can see, the machine, you can't really see that probably via the iPhone, but it's trying now to raise the temperature, but the plates are physically disconnected. Probably this is in series with the plates, so the PID doesn't really know that the plates are not there anymore. But again, unfortunately, it takes a while for the temperature to go down. It's now 142, 141. It's not really what you want when you are soldering. So I have something in mind to mod this thing and to try and improve this behavior. But I guess this is how the machine works. It's something to be kept in mind. I mean, it's infrared. Not really. I mean, I'm sure there's some infrared involved, but not really, not much. So the first call it issue that I can find with this machine is these two guides. Number one guide doesn't the screw is kind of stripped, so I can't really fix it. Number two, as you can see, the two guides are not parallel. It's not an effect of the camera or the video. It's actually like that. And that being said, I feel that that's an easy fix. As I think hopefully there's a little bit of play here where it's attached. Not really. So you can probably, oh yes, you can see very easy from here. No, maybe I can ask to have another one. I mean, this is nothing I can't fix, to be honest. Mainly is that this cannot be fixed, and again, I'm sure I can play with the screw, maybe install another one. But again, this is probably something I can ask the seller to just send me another one, and I'll just fix it myself. Because this one is okay. I mean, yeah, this is badly made, badly machined, badly everything. But again, it's kind of expected, right? For the price. Yeah, fair enough. Couldn't really, I mean, this is the only board I could find that actually is working. It's from an old hard drive, 400 gigabytes. It's just, it's right now, it's the only board I'm ready to sacrifice for, just for to run a test on this machine. So let's see what happens. Again, even with this wonky guide, which I can't fix, but it should help. So the idea here is that I set the machine to say 150 degrees, again say 160, turn it on, so it will slowly climb to 150, 160, and then I will set my SMD gun. Now the problem with this is it's supposed to be, be nice if this guys actually hold the boards in place with some kind of friction. But anyways, let's see what happens. It's just a quick test. Again, it's kind of a fake test because I would need probably something a bit bigger. But the idea is if I warm the board 100 to 160 degrees, I'll leave it there for a couple of minutes and then climb it to maybe 200. I can't remember what's the melting temperature for lead-free solder. I think I'll try and set the SMD gun to something like 350 something and see if it's easier than it would normally be without the preheating machine, preheating plate. So the machine has now reached the 160 set point-ish, so it's modulating. Again, you can't probably see from the video, but it's the current, I guess, LED is flashing. The board is definitely hotish. I'll leave it there for a minute, and then I need to check a profile, to be honest. This is a bit up in the air. I completely appreciate it. I think I'll climb the temperature to 200, and then I'll start my SMD gun and see if I can lift components easier than usual. Again, totally appreciate it. This is kind of a first test. I need to write down all the set points and temperatures. I actually have a board for an Arduino, which I purchased some time ago, never used, which allows me to track the temperatures from 2 or more thermocouples on a PC, so I can basically follow a template graph, which is going to be my reflow graph, so I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I can just control my gun and my preheating plate with that, and hopefully that will give me more consistent results. Okay, let's climb the temperature to 200 degrees. And let's try and lift some components and see what happens. Oh yeah, it's much easier. Components are, you just need to be warmed up for a second and they lift in a second. Sorry for the lighting, it's not great. Everything comes up really, really quick. I mean, these are small components, so really you don't need a heating plate with that, but clearly it makes your life much easier. Let's try with the bigger chips. Probably need a higher temperature. Oh. Well, anyways. Ah, yeah, it was attached to the bottom too. There we go. Yeah, it would have been impossible to remove this chip. Well, impossible, quite difficult with just the SMD gun. Yeah. So yeah, components are extremely easy to remove with just a few seconds of gun. To be honest, some of these are, yeah, really very, very easy. Obviously I'm destroying the board by doing this, but yeah, it's just to have an idea of what I can do with this thing. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Oh well, I mean, I guess it's I don't need to do any more tests. It's definitely working. It's definitely working. The downside here, sorry again for the noise, but the downside here is now the board is taking a long while to go down to a reasonable temperature. So now with a small PCB like this, obviously what you can do, I guess you can probably lift it a bit. So it doesn't stay at 200 degrees for too long. I'm planning of installing some fans at the side, maybe something that I can switch on manually when the reflow or the reballing is done. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind. The board is still at 187 degrees, so this doesn't really help with some components, particularly capacitors and other stuff like that. Okay, let's take a look at this machine using the thermal camera. So the machine is completely off now. It's kind of cold in here, so, well, actually the machine is, this is my hand, so this is the plate. You can see the round here. It's currently, I would say, below 20 degrees. Let me see if I can set. Okay, so it's currently sitting at around 20 degrees in the middle. And let's switch on the machine. And I'm switching it on now. You can see it's you can clearly see where the heating elements are, obviously. It's kind of, let me see if I can. So obviously here it's 100 and something degrees, and in here it's only 50. So, well, it's still warming up. obviously. I mean, the camera is measuring a peak of, well, I don't know, it's not working very well. I'm reading 200, 300, 170. I'm not sure exactly what's happening with the camera. Why is it showing everything green? Something happened with the camera software. Let me try and restart it. Okay, that's bad. So the machine is now reading 137 degrees. Again, we have a there's a hot spot of 200 and something, and still is reading 130 something in the 100 degrees, in the 97 in the colder areas. Overall, it's not, I would say it's not so bad. And again, this is obviously now basically running a maximum power, so obviously the actual elements are warming up, are being powered. So I guess that when the machine starts modulating the power, probably we will see the whole plate reaching kind of an even temperature. But still, I mean, it's not so bad. You definitely have some colder areas. But the fact that those heating elements are quite, I would say, spread around the plates, is probably a good thing. It's probably perfectly fine for a PCB. Again, this is the software that I would like to use. It's called the Artisan. It's the software which was designed. Well, its primary development is for coffee roasting, and this is the board I'm going to use. It's a shield for an Arduino. So the Arduino is the bottom one, the blue one, and this is called the TC4 Shield version 4. It's a few years old. I purchased it years ago because I was planning to do something like this, and then I gave up for a number of reasons. So I just digged it out from my collection of never finished projects. It basically runs a number of thermocouples, in this case up to 4. I have 2 connected, and the idea is that one thermocouple is ending up at the top of the board, the other one at the bottom of the board. What this thing is doing is just interfacing a PC or anything that you want to connect, an LCD screen or something, to the thermocouples, monitoring obviously the temperatures. It can also, I'm not sure about this version, but definitely the latest version, this is also working as a PID, so you can connect solid state relay, and you can drive a heating element from the software itself. You can actually let the software do it, or there's a PID algorithm in the firmware in the Arduino sketch basically. What I'd like to do with this thing is just follow a reflow profile. I will have to experiment a lot to make sure I can run this the way I want to run it. Again, this is very much under development, but I just wanted to show you how it works. So this is again, it's one of the software which works with the TC4. Again, it's called the Artisan, and I designed this profile. Again, this is mainly designed for coffee roasting, so it comes with terminologies and features which are not really needed for reflowing. So I'm kind of adapting the thing. It being open source, it's very much very flexible, and everything can be set customly to the way you want it. So I'm just curious, now the computer is connected to the TC4, so if I'm switching on the preheating board, I have temperature set to, well, in theory the profile starts at 150 degrees after 1 minute. So again, I even doubt that this preheating board can can preheat a board in 1 minute to 150 degrees? No, not a chance. So this will have to change, obviously. But again, I'm just curious to see what happens. So if I'm switching on the heating plates, let me check. Let me switch off my heat pump. And again, this will slowly raise its temperature. So if I now start the monitoring, I should be able to see the temperatures going up, which is indeed the case. So again, the idea of the software is it gives me a visual, some kind of a visual feedback, so I roughly know where I am and what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, as you can see, the temperature, one probe seems faster than the other. It's probably closer to the plates. But yeah, clearly the preheating plate is not as fast as the online internet profile for reflowing that I found. So it's never gonna work like that. And it's a good starting point, so I can redesign this profile and change it to my needs, basically. Well, to my needs, to what I have. Because ideally, you want the you want the board to be 150 degrees in a minute. But this is never going to happen with this preheating board, so times will have to stretch a bit. But yeah, this is how it works, and I hope that this can give me a helping hand when reflowing or doing SMD/BGA work on boards. I mean, besides the fact that the machine was unearthed out of the box, it's what I was expecting, to be honest. Again, it works. It's a preheating plate. It's nothing really special. It works. It's powerful. It's reasonably fast to go to the set temperature. Not super fast, but it doesn't. I mean, I have basically a barbecue plate that I have been using for these purposes, and it takes much more than this. This is 1600 watts, so it takes less time. Yeah, I would say I'm mildly happy. I only paid this, I think, something around £90, including VAT and transportation, which only took, I think, less than a week. And it took a bit more because I had it delivered at the an Argos shop in Sainsbury's. Otherwise, I think it would have arrived in 3 or 4 days. So yeah, overall, I'm happy. I can see that you can buy these things for £250, assuming it's the same machine, which I guess it is. I wouldn't be happy with £250 and something like this, but for £90, this will do. So that's it. I'll keep you posted if I have any issues with this machine, and probably you will see some videos, reflowing / reballing videos at some point on my channel. For now, feel free to ask any questions you have on this machine. By the way, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I don't get this is not a sponsor, okay? I bought this machine with my own money. I just thought I wanted to share this with my channel. I don't get any money from either the seller or the manufacturer, and in fact, as you can see, I've been pointing out issues with this machine with no problem. So feel free to comment, ask questions if I can answer. Again, I'm not a representative of this company, but if there's anything I can check for you, if you want to buy it or something, I'm more than happy to answer all your questions. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon back on my channel.